Hello, everyone. Good evening. 9:30 p.m. Let's see who's still awake. A couple of people in the chat already. Welcome. What's ganning on? Jampot, Dylan, what's up? We'll wait for a few more people to come in, and then you guys can ask questions, whatever you want to ask. Not much chat going on for a chat. Well, we wasn't live yet, bruv. We weren't live. I want Whyte to go after Wilder to prove he's stuck in hard fights. Well, I think that's flogging a dead horse there. Wilder don't want no smoke with Whyte, does he? Anyway, Stephen, what's up? Chris, what's up? Blackout, what's up? Alan, what's up? Sticky, what's up? BMW, oi oi. JUD, what's up? Tarmac 1. Leroy, what's up? JGG, L Luciano, Yaya, Michael, Cowlings, Daniel, hello. Hope you're all well. All had a good weekend? Eddie, what's up? Hope you all had a excellent weekend. Been up to no good? Covered your tracks, all that kind of thing. So I thought I'd do a quick hangout today for you all, where you guys just bombard me with questions, all that kind of good stuff. I don't have any kind of subject in mind, and I'm aware that I haven't been as active over the past week or so, purely because of Christmas, New Year. Just take up like a lot of time, kids being off school, all that kind of good stuff. So, Bruce Fain, what is up? Bruce, contact me on Twitter, will you? Contact me on Twitter, bro, and then we'll get you on. We'll do a collab. Off to bed. All right, Blackout, take it easy, bro. Stephen, it's not. Oh, sorry, 7. My bad. Andy, what's up? Buy-in. Why Master? Uh, Thoughts on direction of Ortiz? I don't know. Well, I know there's still being talk about potentially Ortiz versus Joe Joyce being an interesting one. That's for sure. That's for sure. Daz, what's up? Thank you very much. Appreciate it. What's going on? Hello, Jack. Fat Apple's in the building. What is up? Johnny Joan. Yo, yo, yo. Familiar to billions. I wish I was. Hello. Chris, what's up? Barry Scott. Bruce Fain is the man. He certainly is. Bungle, what is up? Hello. Is Frank Warren bankrupt? I have no idea. There's plenty of rumours. I don't think he's doing as well as he'll like. But hopefully 2019 he sorts that out. Hopefully. Josh, what is up? Fred, yes. Hello, Khan, what going near broke? No, I think he's pretty much chosen Terence Crawford by the sounds of it, right? I'm sure that's what I heard. Who should Usyk fight at heavyweight on his debut? An interesting one. I think it should be somebody tough, but not somebody who's ranked really high because he does need to get his toes wet, if you like, for heavyweight. So maybe I don't know what, Carlos Takam or maybe a Chisora, something like that. Blood Ruby, hello, welcome. What's your opinions on Carl Frampton? Well, I think this loss may force him into retirement, which is unfortunate because I like Carl Frampton. But I think it's going to be a bit of a jog to come back, and we know he's not exactly in love with the sport as he once was. He was thinking about retiring not so long ago anyway, so this loss is certainly going to give him food for thought, I would think. But Robin, what's up? Start out with Hunter. Yeah, 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 that would be a good one. Although, hasn't he already beaten him? He's already beaten him, isn't he? Bad Guy London. Big up, Bad Guy London. Stephen O, what's up? Ronnie Pickering strikes again. Good evening, brother. Good evening, mate. Cowings, what's your opinion on Ben? What kind of Ben? I think we've only one sport now. Hey, what's up, Tom? Hadrian, hey, big up to you, brother. Again, thanks to you and Bad Guy yesterday. I appreciate you guys donating your winnings to the Duchenne charity, and MBT has done it accordingly. So big up. Yeah, so what was that? Was it Conor Ben, wasn't it? Or was it Nigel Ben? I don't know. Conor Ben, Been pretty quiet lately. Not quite sure what's going on. I know he's back in the Matchroom boxing gym with Ted Cheeseman and the gang, Joe Cordina and John Doherty, all those kind of guys. So maybe he might get a run out February 2nd on the Ted Cheeseman and Sergio Garcia card. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. Yes, remember, hit the like button, guys. What is up? Conor Benn, yeah. I like Conor Benn. I like him. I like him. Yeah, thanks again, Adrian. I do appreciate you guys doing your generosity. Um, watched the DeGale Eubank press conference. Couldn't rate which one was the most deluded. DeGale sounds punch drunk. No, I think DeGale's always been that way. To be fair, he's always done that. He's just one of those kind of guys where he just trashes. Boxing finesse. What is up? What is up? Who else we got? Only 4 likes. Yeah, terrible, terrible, terrible. But there again, it's a Sunday. People don't want to do it. No worries. Um, just Daniel, Usyk versus Ortiz. It's a bit of a tough one, isn't it, for a debut? It is tough. Nige, what fight now next, buddy? Win or lose. Fight now next. Oh, crikey. Isn't the Keith Thurman one next? And Jose Uzagatsgu. Got some PBC shows coming up in January. There's quite a few of those. February 2nd, you've got Ted Cheeseman going up against Sergio Garcia, 28-0. So that's a real toughie for Ted Cheeseman. There's a pretty decent undercard as well on there. So, yeah, that'll be interesting one February 2nd. But I believe there could be an Italian one or a German one, something like that with Matchroom beforehand. Not too sure. Not too sure. And I believe there could be a Matchroom one over in America, right? Yes, there is. Andrade versus Akabov. That's coming up soon as well. Isn't that next week or the week after? Spilka versus Gorman. That'd be a good one. I agree, Cowlins. I agree. Plant versus Usyk category. Caleb Plant is one of these guys that you don't know how good he's going to be, but a lot of people really, really rate him highly. So, yeah, why not him? Gorman or Dubois? That's a toughie. Real, real toughie. It's not one we're going to see anytime soon. Frank Warren doesn't want to make it. I mean, I understand why. It'd be unfortunate for one of these guys to take a loss, but as Gorman isn't part of the Frank Warren team, he's part of Ricky Hatton. I think that's probably why he's a bit more reluctant. If Gorman was not with Hatton and with Frank Warren, he might be more tempted to do it. But as of right now, I don't know, to be honest. It's real 50-50 for me. I'll probably just have to edge it with Gorman. Just edge it. But listen, I like Daniel Dubois. Hopefully he does well. Headshot, what's up? Maureen, what's up? Ashley, do you despise Wilder so much? Nope, of course not. Barry Scott, who do you think Wilder will fight next? Probably Brazil, to be honest. Your opinion on Whyte's recent interview with IFL about AJ? Yeah, well, he's doing the trash talk to make the fight, isn't he? So, Hudson, what's up? Okay, Ronnie thinks Dubois is cool. Cool. When's Gorman fight anyone? I don't think it's been announced yet. Usyk should fight somebody like Robert Helenius. Yeah, good shout. I think would be the perfect introduction. Not too hard, not too easy. I agree, Bruce. Yeah, yeah, that kind of level. That's what I mean. So like a Robert Helenius, a Carlos Takam, a Derek Chisora, that kind of level. I think it will be a pretty good introduction. We'll kind of see where he is. If he handles him without any kind of ease or with ease, then yeah, I do think that maybe move him on then. Maybe throw him in with a Dillian Whyte or a Luis Ortiz or Kubrat Pulev, something like that. GP boxing views, what's up? Chris is 33. Callum Johnson's one of these guys that we still don't know how good he is. He did a very good performance against George Groves. He was getting hit a bit too easy for my liking, I have to admit. But would he do it against Triple G? Tough one, real tough one. Where's Jose Burton gone? Well, I've got him on my phone. I should text him and find out what's going on. But obviously, he'd like Anthony Yard. I don't think Anthony Yard's too keen on Jose Burton. So maybe Jose Burton, maybe against a Ricky Summers, something like that. That'd be a bit interesting. Yeah, I mean, Gorman's last performance weren't too good, was it, against Razvan Kajanu? It weren't great. Ortiz 147 years old. Lennox Lewis surely doesn't like AJ. Yeah, well, you see, don't forget, Lennox Lewis is part of the PBC now. So, but there again, I mean, he doesn't like AJ anyway because AJ's getting everything that he never got. You see, Lennox Lewis always wanted to be the darling of British boxing and just never really did it. See, Frank Bruno was always the fans' favourite, whether he won or lost. So, and of course, now he's seen it with Lennox Lewis with Anthony Joshua. He doesn't like it, but any Wilder fans in the building? No, just you, bad guy. Just you. Who's first Dave Allen? Leave Dave Allen alone. No. Ortiz is immortal. It could be. I heard that he once babysat the woman who breastfed Tutankhamun. So Webb versus Gorman would be a decent scrap. Well, you see, them two were meant to fight for the English title about a year ago here in Newcastle, here in my city. So it'd be interesting. Yard, but yeah, yeah. I think Yard and Boatsy. You see, there's too many fighters, in my opinion, that are building for the future. It's just far too many fights. Yeah, I don't want to fight him just now. It's on the wrong side of the street. We need to build it. We need to. Every fighter wants to build a fight. Every fighter thinks that they're the next big machine. It just irritates me sometimes. I think Usyk straight up challenging. Be interesting, that's for sure. Ortiz is the missing link. It could well be. Could well be. Matthew Stevens, Tyson Fury outboxes. He could stop him late on Deontay Wilder knocks AJ out. Well, Deontay Wilder's got to find his pen and some guts, really, I suppose, hasn't he? He's got to find his balls from his mangina to actually get in the ring with Joshua to start with. But if he does, who knows? I don't know. Maybe he would knock out Joshua. We don't know until they actually get in the ring. Personally, I don't think so. I think Joshua would handle Wilder almost as easy as Charles Martin. Yeah, I'm from Newcastle. Yeah, I don't have the accent anymore. See, I was born here. Spent the first few years of my life here. Moved down south, and in the late '80s, people thought, like kids in school, thought I was Scottish. So I quickly adjusted to the southern accent and never really got my Geordie one back. So the biggest fight now, Fury, Wilder, or Whyte? I suppose commercially it'd be Fury. Yeah, Fury is the governor. He is. Fury handles all. Could well be. Mayweather versus Wilder. Yeah. With sport for choice with potential fights, remember how bad it was not so long ago? Absolutely. Seven Oceans, you're absolutely correct. I think it's one of those kind of situations now where too many people are looking at the negative. Why aren't we getting this one? Why aren't we getting that one? Why? But not appreciating the fact what we are getting. You know, there's so many things. It's like Keith Thurman. You see on your screen right now, Keith Thurman going up against Lopez. People are hating all over Keith Thurman because he's been inactive. Listen, was Keith Thurman legitimately injured? I don't know. I have no idea. But fact is, he has been out of the ring for quite some time, and Lopez, not really a pushover. It's one that I think Keith Thurman likes. He does like these kind of guys. But, you know, there's so many fights that can be made, and there's so many fights that have been made that just get overlooked because what they want is, they kind of look at Joshua versus Wilder, Joshua versus Fury, Joshua versus Whyte, and anything else is not good enough. Maybe we've been spoilt too much. Maybe. Brazil versus Fury. Sporting, what do you think of Hatman Fury? I haven't seen it, bro. I haven't seen it. Minzy, what is up? Her needs to push for Whyte versus Wilder. Yeah, but Wilder doesn't want it. I mean, you guys remember Dillian Whyte was on the Zone having a chat with those two lads, and he showed the message that John Tay Wilder sent him to his phone, which was, I can freeze you out for 2 years if I want. So, and with the WBC, of course, what they don't want to be doing is putting Dillian Whyte in there. They want to keep with Dominic Brazil, so keep Whyte as far away from Wilder as physically possible. I think that's pretty much what it is. Wilder takes man hormones. He's got some female tendencies, isn't he? That's for sure. But the copper box, yeah. It's a decent little arena, isn't it? It's decent enough. MBT in the house. Big up to you, brother. Again, big up for what you did yesterday with all the charities and all that kind of thing. Do appreciate it, man. Usyk versus Wilder. Yeah, again, I think it might be a bit too early for Usyk to go straight in with one of those kind of guys. You know, as Bruce said, I do think that maybe a Hellenius would be a good shout, just to kind of like test the waters. Whereas Hellenius, if he turns up in the mood, he's dangerous. Other times he turns into survival mode. So hopefully, Billy Joe Saunders will have a good year. Hopefully, be nice. Hopefully, he's learned his lesson to stop being a bit childish. Ortiz versus Joshua again. Yeah, I think Ortiz versus Joshua is a fight that people would watch. Is it the one that most people want? Probably not. But is it decent enough? Hit thumbs up. Well done, AD. Appreciate it. Still waiting for Wild to pick the wrong cherry. Yeah, well, he pretty much did that against Fury, didn't he? Usyk versus Spilka makes good sense. Yeah, I agree with that one. Sam Sexton. I keep seeing his name pop up quite a lot. Oh, Matt Skelton, sorry. Little round man, what's up? Wild was clogging up the whole heavyweight division, nothing to progress if he to fight anyone. One way or another, he needs that belt ripping out of his hands. Well, who knows? You see, a lot of people are hating on the Dominic Brazil fight, but who knows? I mean, Dominic Brazil can bang. Trouble is, he can be hit quite easy too. I mean, bearing in mind, Joshua defeated Dominic Brazil within 7 rounds, and he had glandular fever. So, Groves versus DeGale wins. I agree. I agree. I think that them two do need to rematch. Although, what's happening with George Groves? I haven't heard anything from him since he lost. Know whether he's going to retire or what. Reckon David Haye could come out of retirement. Wasn't your thoughts Fury supposedly testing positive for Pez in 2016? Was that a setup? I don't know about a setup, but they certainly dragged their heels, didn't they? I mean, for some of you guys who will remember when I first started here, 2 years ago? So probably about 18 months ago, I did a whole bunch of videos going in on UCAD and the Boxing Board of Control over their treatment for him. And it wasn't about whether or not Fury did it or not. It's just about just needed damn well resolving. So for me, I mean, I don't know if he took anything. I have no idea. I can't say I'm a great believer in the whole wild boar thing, but I don't know. I don't know. Eubank beats DeGale. DeGale is shot. Over his last few fights, I'll probably have to agree with you. He blamed the injury, of course, but this is his last chance saloon. As he said, he loses to Chris Eubank Jr. He's done. He's done. Shearer versus AJ. Yeah, I'm going to take Shearer on that one. Price versus Chisora could be. Haney, what's up? Robin, hello. Jim. Brazil held his own against AJ. He did. Waterfall. AJ fake. No, he's definitely real. We've seen him. He's definitely real. Pete Geary. Chisora versus Joyce would be good. Shame that fight didn't happen when they had the opportunity, wasn't it? Shame it didn't happen. Usyk will retire Ward once and for all if the rumours are true that Ward wants all that smoke. I don't think Ward will come back. I really don't. I really don't. And I don't think Usyk. Well, it's an interesting one because it's for undisputed. But my question would be, why come back for Usyk for undisputed when you could have fought Adonis Stevenson for undisputed? You know, well, okay, different weight class. I might get, but he's never bothered at super middleweight. Didn't bother at light heavyweight. Why suddenly now at cruiserweight? And Usyk not exactly bringing a lot of money. He's not that kind of fighter at the minute. He could be, but at the minute he's not. Going to stop Mikey Garcia in the 8th? Maybe. Maybe. I mean, for me, I think that it's a bit crazy of Mikey Garcia take this fight. But clearly he's seen something in Spence that gives him confidence. I don't know. I don't know. We don't want to see David Price versus Lucas Brown. Hmm. I reckon that one will probably be made. If not, then Dave Allen versus David Price or Dave Allen versus Lucas Brown. That's kind of the triangle that they're going with, I think. And that'll probably end up on the April 13th Joshua undercard, I would imagine. Harry, can't wait for Wilder to be shut up and given it big balls. Well, yeah, that's right. That's right. Somebody really wants Audley Harrison to get killed, don't they? Should Joshua fight more than 2 times a year? I think so. I think so. But I mean, if he's running out of money because he's only making what £20 million per fight, maybe step it up to 3 times. Make 60 million a year. The man's got to eat, so why not? Why not? Uh, well, AJ doesn't show his true self. Well, I think he does at times, but of course, a lot of it is a political game, isn't it? You know, he's got to appeal to the fans, so it just is how it is. PED, what's up? Mr. Campbell. Who should Parker fight next? Very good question. That's a question that mulls at me because there's a couple of the names that I think of, he's already fought. Like automatically, I think Carlos Takan, but I know he's already fought him and beat him. Andy Ruiz Jr. Them two's already had a fight. But for me, okay, I'm British, but I'd love to see Joseph Parker versus Lucas Brown. I think them two need to get it on before it's too late, in my opinion, and too late from a Lucas Brown perspective because Lucas Brown is getting on a bit now. So, I mean, what's he got left? What, 2 years? Is he going to stay undefeated for the next 2 years? I don't know because I think if Lucas Brown takes another loss, it could be a bit of an issue, couldn't it? And then we'll never get to see Parker and Brown. For me, I think them two should just get it on, just get it done, get it dusted, and it's good money for them both. Would them two make more money fighting anybody else right now? I'm not too sure. What are my credentials to judge? Thoughts on Ben Davison? I like him. I like Ben Davison. I really do. I think that Ben Davison, what he's done with Tyson Fury is absolutely fantastic. And not with him. You see, he was helping with Billy Joe as well for a while. I mean, he still helps Billy Joe like behind the scenes. Just that in camp, Dominic Ingle sorts it. But yeah, what he's done with Tyson Fury, he's kept him motivated. He's kept him in the gym. I mean, Tyson Fury's in the gym now. So yeah, he's doing wonders with him. He really is. I think Parker want rematch with Whyte. Yeah, of course he does, and he's right to want it. But will he get it? That's the question. Will he get it? Probably not. Just right now. Travis Hardy 90. What is up? Can you recommend any unique birthday presents to give my girlfriend? Underwear. What's Adelaide birth credentials? Exactly. I think my credentials are got to be better than hers, surely. Usyk versus Joe Joyce would be a good fight. Yeah, again, you see, them two need to get that rematch on, don't they? You really do. Have I ever boxed? No, if I was boxed, then I would have been a professional fighter and I wouldn't be doing this. I'll be in the gym. Don't know. Um, can Wilder knock it? Wilder can knock anybody out. If he lands it, he can knock him out. Trouble is, lately I'm starting to see that. I don't know whether it's a level of competition that's doing it or whether Wilder's just starting to drop the pace a little bit, but he's starting to get tagged a whole lot more than what he used to lately. So at some point, and as I've been saying for quite a while, I think Wilder, he can end the night of anybody, but he's a decision loss waiting to happen because he doesn't have too much else outside the big right. He has other things, of course. He's pretty fast and all that kind of thing, but yeah. Thoughts on Oscar Rivas versus Brian Jennings? Yes, Harley, it's a good fight. I favour Brian Jennings purely for the experience. Um, Oscar is undefeated, Colombian, but hasn't got anybody of any kind of note on his resume. But this is his big opportunity. Get a scalp of Brian Jennings, not the greatest scalp in the world, but get a scalp of Brian Jennings would certainly turn a lot of heads, and will probably get the attention of some of the top guys out there. So Wild has a fragile hand or a fragile hand. Yeah, he does. He's always getting it repaired. He is. Wild won't be champion by 2020. No, no, I agree. Because the days of cherry picking, you see, people moan that me and others have a go at Wilder. But yet, if we didn't, he'd still be fighting the Jason Gavins of the world, wouldn't he? So, but unfortunately, now he's in a situation where he has to be stepping up. It's, you know, put up or shut up now. That's all he can do. He doesn't have to fight Josh if he doesn't want to. There's plenty of other big fights out there. But at some point, he could well take a loss. But let's see how good he is. Let's wait and see. Didn't Oscar Rivas beat Pulev in the Olympics? I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. I'm really not too sure. Bomb squad. Brazil's probably going to beat Wilder. It could happen. As I said, I think Brazil, I mean, he can take punishment, but I think Brazil, he relies too much on blocking shots with his face. And against Wilder, it's the wrong thing to do. How did Wilder get a title shot? Well, he was on 33 fights when he got his title shot, and he defeated the big bad Jason Gavin right after Audley Harrison. So that's what he got. Yeah, I agree. I think what Whyte should fight Wilder, but Wilder don't want it. So, do you think Wilder will ever face AJ from Mindflex? Um, yeah, at some point, but not while he's undefeated and got that title. That's just my opinion. I don't think he will. Hit the like and show the love. Well done for apples. Wilder deserves the stick he gets because people and does nothing. Yeah, exactly, exactly. We must have an undisputed fight in April. Be nice, would be nice, but you know what? I mean, I'm kind of getting to the point now where I'm kind of just bored of it. You know, it shouldn't be that difficult. I mean, Wilder, listen, the latest one is Wilder's been offered a flat fee, guaranteed minimum $28 million, plus percentage on top of that, depending on the pay per views. Bearing in mind, he accepted $4 million to fight Tyson Fury with percentage of pay per view. So already he's up by 24 million. And he's guaranteed a rematch in America. I don't really know what more he could possibly want, but what can you do? Eddie Hearn is running out of donkeys. Nope, no, he's got a whole stable full of them. Don't worry about that. um, yeah, I think that if Joshua gets hold of Wilder, and it's just my opinion until we see it, I don't know. I do feel Joshua will remove the jaw from Wilder, but until we see it, how do I know? Chavante, aka Mr. Millard. Have you ever watched the amateur boxing at the Fed Brewery Newcastle? I haven't, Karens. I've been invited to quite a few bits, but it all seems to be around the times when I can't go. So no, not right now. Although I keep getting invites to go along to watch wrestling. I'm not really into wrestling, but I keep on getting the invites from the promoters to go along there and like I speak to the wrestlers. But I'm like, oh, I'm a boxing channel, you know. So Wilder's a born actor. He faked it until he made it. That's pretty much how it is, isn't it? Why are they not saying AJ scared of Fury when he beat him up in sparring years ago? No, AJ's not scared of Fury. Fury's not scared of AJ. But unfortunately, whether we like it or not, it's all about money. And yeah, we can say, well, you've always got money in the bank. Why do you care? Well, they just do. You know, they just do. Mr. Mallard will lose to Brazil. Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia. Um, I'm big up on both them guys. Ryan Garcia, while he looked pretty good a few weeks ago, didn't look like the kind of fighter that I believe would give Tank Davis too much trouble. So I don't know. That's just my opinion anyway. Hey Michael, hello you queer. When will Sherman Clump get his shot? I think I know who you're talking about. Eubank is an arrogant. Oh, sorry, I missed that one. Listen, the only way for Dillian Whyte to get a WBC world title shot is to fight Dominic Brazil for the mandatory. It's the only way it can happen. Wilder's never going to give Whyte a voluntary. Whether you believe that Whyte beats him or Wilder beats Whyte, it just isn't going to happen. Wilder will not fight Dillian Whyte as a voluntary. He just won't do it. It's not going to happen. Michael, tell Beyonce to sign. Yeah. Is that after Wilder keeps smacking his bare ass? We don't care what you say, Michael. We don't care what you think. We don't care. Charlie Zelenoff. I haven't heard of him in ages. I mean, I know that he used to do like a lot of trolling on the internet. I know he's been calling out Dillian Whyte a few months ago, but I don't know whether or not he'll do it. Well, the last time I heard, didn't Charlie Zelenoff get thrown out of his house by some other YouTuber? Called him up and I don't know, give him a bit of a beasting. I'm not too sure. Uh-huh. But use it in timeout. Oh, well done, boxing finesse. See, sorry, I went quiet there because I was looking for it, do it myself on the phone. But you just beat me to it. Well done, bro. Press the X, then the plus. 170 people here get liking. Well said, bro. Well said. X Cali, what is up? The crystal ball magic. He called out Wilder again. Oh, did he? I don't know how somebody can become famous for trolling fighters and getting sparked out by them. I mean, what, I don't know why you want to do that. Cheers, boxing finesse. Appreciate it, bro. Isn't Wilder the fastest person to get into the Olympics? Which makes him the best boxer in the world. The fastest boxer to get into the Olympics? Not really. I mean, combined, his whole amateur career, 38 fights. Not a lot. Anthony Joshua, 45 fights. So again, not a great deal of difference. So not really. But I mean, to be fair, okay, so both of them were put on gloves for the first time at the age of 18. But to be fair, I think Wilder has overachieved. That would be fair to say. I don't think too many people were picking him to be world champion. Although I did when I seen him blast through Audie Harrison. But what's good, die hard casuals? What's up? What are you saying? He's the GOAT and destroyed Wilder? Who's that one? Sorry, I missed that one. Pacquiao literally just called out Spence and Mikey Garcia. Well, I think Manny Pacquiao needs to concentrate more on Adrian Broner before looking at the winner of them ones. Adrian Broner, for me, he's been gifted this opportunity. I mean, I like Broner, but let's be real. His last two fights, he's lost one, drawn one. He shouldn't even be there. Uh, Why? Wilder believes he's superior to Whyte. Yeah, yeah, of course he does. Because he's world champion. But I mean, if it's a fight that the fans demand, at some point he'll have no choice. But for me, that's the ideal one. I think that Wilder versus Whyte, that's my perfect scenario, and I have full faith in Dillian Whyte to beat Deontay Wilder. So Fury versus Miller. Didn't them two have like a bit of a beef like about a month or two ago? I'm sure they did. I'm sure that Fury said to Big Baby Jared Miller, "Come on down to the gym and I'll smash your face in for free" or something. So I'm not quite sure what happened there, but it could happen. Batman will batter Broner. Mm, I think so. As I said, I think Broner, as much as I do like him, I think he's a bit of a prat in real life, just by going what I've seen of him on social media. But he's been gifted this opportunity. Gifted. There's so many other fighters out there, and it's not to be rude. First of all, he's not a 147-pound fighter; he's a 140-pound fighter. And second of all, he's had a loss and a draw. And thirdly, there's plenty of other fighters out there who deserve more of a shot at Manny Pacquiao than Adrian Broner does. This goes to show you the corruption that happens in boxing. So Diaz is scared for Wilder to fight Whyte. It definitely is. Definitely is. But I mean, I rate Jay Diaz, Wilder's trainer, because what he's done with him is remarkable. He's somehow managed to polish a turd straight up. You know, you give a excellent fighter who is willing to learn boxing to JD's. I think that JD can turn that person into a champion too. If you can do it with Wilder, you can do it with anyone. That's not being hateful. That's just how I see it. What do you think of Chris Eubank Jr., sloppy or not? He's too arrogant. Oh, are you? Oh, Whitley Bay. Yeah. You see, I go there quite a bit. It's either Whitley Bay or South Shields I go to quite a bit. Although Whitley Bay always seems to be a bit too open. Always gustly wind. Even on like a summer's day, it's freezing. But yeah, I like Whitley Bay, especially with the red arrows. Broner's okay, really. Mayweather's such a toxic pet. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm glad you said that because I've said that quite a few times here, where I've said that the likes of Tank Davis and Adrian Broner and maybe Errol Spence Jr. need to kind of like go their own ways and not hang around Floyd Mayweather. See, Floyd Mayweather, he's had his time, but at the same time, you see, you've got the likes of Badu Jack. He doesn't go off the rails like these guys do. So I suppose at the end of the day, it's up to these guys, isn't it? I mean, Broner, he just needs Floyd. Without Floyd, you probably find him hanging from a tree somewhere one day. He needs Floyd in his life. Congrats to Charlie Edwards. Big up, yeah, Charlie Edwards. Charlie Edwards, fantastic. I'm proud of Charlie. Real proud of him for winning that WBC title. It's a life ambition of his, and he's very young and almost at the point where he hasn't had that many fights. So you could probably argue that he shouldn't really be world champion yet, but he's got such confidence in his own ability that he could just get in there and just get on with it, you know, and just challenge the best out there. So big up Charlie Edwards. I'm real proud of him. Thanks very much, Dan. Appreciate it, bro. The WBC destroyed heavyweight boxing. Yeah, of course, because the WBC, from the outside looking in, look like they're just about money, isn't it? You know, all they want is money. They even made a WBC belt for the Pope. Why? I mean, for the Pope. Who made? Why would the Pope, of all people in the world, want a WBC title? Unbelievable. Could we see Mr. Mallard not fight this year due to his frail female mind? Well, it depends if he gets himself pregnant or not, you know? But if he really wants to get himself pregnant, as he says that he does, then he needs to take the AJ fight, get that 28 million plus all the pay per view, and get a rematch with Joshua as well as win, lose, or draw. And you know what? He should have enough money to go out there, find a surgeon to put a womb inside him to grow a baby. You know? Wilder should be stripped for not being a credible champion. Well, for the Pope, no way. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he did. He even did it for some airline company as well when he met the airline company and the WBC. So Mauricio Sullivan made a WBC belt. I swear, if he come to the UK and met the Queen, he'd make her a goddamn belt too. I swear it. Wilder wants no smoke. Nope. Well, he does, but inside the vehicles where he's going to get himself arrested, he wants that ganja and good stuff. Prince Nassim was not a hype job. Hmm. Prince Nassim was one of my favourite fighters. He really was. Purely for his entrance. I loved his entrance. I love the fact that he could just play with his opponents in the ring, tee off on them, and he was powerful. I mean, for a tiny guy, he was powerful. But I think I liked his entrances more, coming down on the magic carpet and all that kind of thing. AJ already knocked out Whyte, yeah, 4 years ago when Dillian Whyte was that was his what 15th fight. Josh was 14th fight, something like that. And Dillian Whyte had a damaged shoulder, which you could see that when he hurt AJ, he couldn't throw the arm properly afterwards. So this is a whole different beast in Dillian Whyte, whole different beast. Dillian Whyte is probably one of the most improved heavyweights right now. Like him or not, you have to admit he's one of the most improved and has a resume right up there with the best right now. Joshua certainly getting better, and for me, that's what makes it interesting. But listen, you see people who say AJ shouldn't fight Whyte. Who should he fight? If Wilder's unwilling, if Fury's unwilling, who else has a better resume right now than Dillian Whyte? Who else? Miller? No. Usyk hasn't even fought a heavyweight. So who else is there? Who deserves a title shot more than Dillian Whyte? Is Joshua supposed to turn around to Dillian Whyte and say, sorry, I'm not going to give you a title shot because I beat you 4 years ago? That's not quite how it works, is it? Yeah, exactly. And Dillian is got that left hook that comes out of nowhere. I mean, people are, his opponents are preparing for it, but somehow he manages to land it, and it's devastating each and every time. It's only Joseph Parker who actually got up the deck from it, and that shows how tough Joseph Parker is. So I agree, bad guy. He does. He definitely does. Surely Wilder has managers. Yeah, Dominic Brazil, which will be his second mandatory in 4 years. He's only had one mandatory in 4 years. 4 years today, is it? No, 4 years next week. He'll be a 4-year WBC champion and only fought one mandatory. Sporting, please explain why the WBC won't make Whyte mandatory. Because they've promised it to Dominic Brazil. Because originally, because the WBC, Mauricio Sulaiman and Don King are very, very close. Don King wanted his fight was Bermane Stiverne. So they agreed to make Bermane Stiverne the WBC mandatory. When Wilder was going to fight Luis Ortiz, and Luis Ortiz failed the PED test for the high blood pressure medication, Stiverne and Brazil had already agreed to fight each other, which meant that if Brazil beat Bermane Stiverne, he would become the mandatory. But when Ortiz failed the PED test, Stiverne then took his mandatory position. Brazil was left without an opponent. So WBC said, find somebody and you can still be the mandatory if you win, which happened to be Eric Molina, which is complete garbage. So Dillian Whyte got screwed over. He's the WBC silver champion, so he should have, at a bare minimum, fought Dominic Brazil for the final mandatory, at a bare minimum. But WBC didn't want to do that. That's why Dillian Whyte, even though he's ranked number one in the WBC, he's not the mandatory. So Whyte is a clever backup option. Yeah, of course. Of course. It's heavyweight boxing. You just don't know who's going to win. You don't know. It just takes that one punch or that one off night, that one kidney shot. It's done. It's done. Dillian was never Eddie's man. He works with him because it's good business. It is, Carl. Yeah, of course. Of course. But again, you see, people say, I mean, I've had so many comments about Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn saying, see, all these two want to do is have another in-house fight. That's all they want to do. Joshua has never had an in-house fight. You know that? In his 22 fights, not one fighter has been a matchroom fighter. Another one. When he fought Dillian Whyte the first time, Dillian Whyte wasn't a matchroom fighter. So, bit of useless information. How much longer negotiations before Joshua and Dillian Whyte? I can't even really speak, even though it's in front of me. How long before negotiations stop between Joshua and Wilder? Going by Barry Hearn's comments a few days ago, very, very soon. So, and then they'll start looking and trying to negotiate with Tyson Fury. If that don't happen, then it'll be Dillian Whyte. But again, for those who say, well, it was always the plan for Joshua to fight Dillian Whyte, well, remember, Wilder and Tyson Fury both had first refusal. So, and again, who better out there than Dillian Whyte? That's just my opinion, anyway. And he said end of the month, or did he? But there again, how much longer? So if he drops all talks and negotiate, I mean, why don't they drop it now? Because Wilder's already come out and said, I don't care how much Eddie Hearn offers me. I'm not fighting Joshua April 13th. I want Tyson Fury next. If not, it'll be Dominic Brazil. So that's a hint and a half for Eddie Hearn's ass to move on. Okay, get negotiating with Tyson Fury now before you're in a situation where you're giving Joshua and his opponent not enough prep time. So Wilder will end up begging AJ in a year or so, maybe. Yeah, after he loses. After he loses. Wilder is an accident. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think that all sanctioned bodies should get together and force this fight. Come up with a decision yourselves. You know, what split should get AJ and Wilder in that ring and force it. If these fighters refuse to agree to it, then be strict. AJ versus Ortiz. But again, you see, Ortiz, listen, it's an interesting one, isn't it? But Ortiz lost to Wilder. He then beat Razvan Kajanu and then went almost a distance with Travis Kaufman. So, not too sure he's of a deserving kind of situation with AJ. But it's a fight people would watch, so why not? He will lose on borrowed time. Mm. Does Brazil have a chance against Wilder? He's got a puncher's chance. Puncher's chance. He's a better boxer than Wilder. He could outbox him, but because there's so much animosity between these two, and Wilder hits from range and awkward angles, Dominic Brazil, he's like a pincushion. You know, he just keeps on getting teed up on. So it's only a matter of time before Wilder connects with him, and it wouldn't surprise me if it was in the first round, to be honest. But still, a chance is a chance. Joyce versus Ortiz. Yeah, I think Luis Ortiz is at the end of his career now, and the kind of fight with Joe Joyce is a good handing over process, you know, like a pass of the torch. Eddie Hearn is running down the clock. I'm already, well, wouldn't have thought so. I mean, he wants the opponent locked in ASAP. Who has Brazil beaten since he become mandatory? He beat Eric Molina 14 months ago, and then last month he beat Carlos Negron. So he was 13 months out of the ring. I heard something about a chin with Amir Khan. So I missed it. I was having a quick drink. Who is Amir Kardashian going to choose, Brooke or Crawford? Well, according to reports, he's already chosen Terence Crawford. So I don't know. I mean, I haven't been making videos on it because the whole Brooke Khan situation just makes me boil. Makes me boil because I'm sick of it. I'm bored. To be honest with you, I'm truly bored of it. You know. Amir Chin gets some stick, but not as bad as everyone makes out. I agree. I agree. I think Amir Khan has a better chin than most people think. It's just that because we've seen him wobbled, you know, people go, he's got a suspect chin. But look who done it. Sal Canelo Alvarez, massive puncher. Danny Garcia, again, very good puncher. So, but Kell Brook is a big puncher too. So if Kell Brook lands on him, yeah, it's good night. But Amir Khan, my favourite performance for Amir Khan was against Devon Alexander. All right, it went the distance, but just the gracefulness of Amir Khan, the way he was gliding around the ring on his feet, backwards, forward, side to side, and the way he was just picking his shots was perfection. Absolute perfection. If you haven't seen Amir Khan versus Devon Alexander, go watch it. Go watch it. Oh, sorry, I've seen a serious question there. Hang on a second. Let me see if I can find it again. I've just seen it from Bad Guy. What does Wilder get for beating Whyte? What does he get? a whole lot of recognition, and for the fact that he's beaten the number one ranked in the WPC. So he gets a whole lot of recognition. He defeated the number one for the first time, and a whole boatload of money. I mean, he was offered 8 million guaranteed last time by Eddie Hearn. So Steven's a disgrace. Yep. Yeah, he did score him, didn't he? He did. That was a thing of beauty, wasn't it? It was. If Khan loses over, yeah, I think his fight with Terence Crawford is it. I don't think he's going in there truly believing he's going to win. I mean, well, no, it's a bit unfair to say that, isn't it? He's not the favourite, and he knows he's not the favourite, and he's not supposed to be. Terence Crawford is the honest answer, and Terence Crawford can bang. He hits Amir Khan flush. Whew, could be good night. But I think Amir Khan has this thought of, even if I lose to Terence Crawford, I can still get the Kell Brook fight. But if I fight Kell Brook next time I lose, then that's it for me. I think that's kind of how he thinks. What happened to fantasy fights? Will probably drum up some interest when you're doing them. Yeah, I was. I started doing it. There was a bit of interest, but then I was noticing in the comment section, people were talking about, Joshua versus Fury and Joshua versus Wilder and Amir Khan versus Brook. I'm like, okay, so people are more interested in up-to-date realities. So I kind of just knocked it on the head. Yeah, I might start up again. Do the old fantasy ones. Although, who is the greatest fighter of all time? The greatest fighter. So many people automatically go Muhammad Ali, but you'd be surprised how many people say Muhammad Ali, but haven't actually watched Muhammad Ali fight. If he beats Crawford, it's a legendary win. Totally, totally. It'd be a shocker, wouldn't it? Be a real shocker. That guy thinks Miller beats Joshua. I don't, but heavyweight, you never know, do you? Sugar Ray Robinson. Oh, there you go, Sugar Ray. There you go. Are other channels sending traffic to you like you are to them? Don't know. I'm not sure. I don't just give me shout outs just for something back. I only shout out one channel per day. So who have I shouted out so far? Because I've only been doing it, what, 3, 4 days? Got Bruce Vane, got Myron Magnus, Fresh One Counterpunch Boxing News with Kurt DeVille, and the Boxing Librarian. Was there another one? Oh, yeah, Combat Sports Radio with Matt and Rob, formerly of the Boxing Boys. So, yeah. Bad guy, bad guy, bad guy. Wilder TBE. Willie Pep has the best footwork. Huh? Don't think that's a good point. Actually, would Terence Crawford be as eager to fight Kell Brook as what he is with Amir Khan? It's an interesting question. Interesting one. Very interesting one. Yeah, Lennox Lewis. I agree. I agree. I think that's Lennox Lewis is. He's probably my favourite heavyweight. Him or Frank Bruno. But again, I'm being biased. I mean, not necessarily because they are um, the best of the best. It's just that they're my favourites. PC done. Both get destroyed by Crawford, says MBT. I agree. I wasn't that hot on Terence Crawford a little while ago because I felt that the 140-pound division was weak and he never fought Adrian Broner. I felt that them two should have at least fought. So I wasn't too convinced with Crawford. Yeah, he became undisputed, but I never really rated Indongo. But the way that he handled Jeff Horn shocked me, to be honest. Shocked me. I thought Jeff Horn would be big and would better push him around. But the way he just handled Jeff Horn surprised me a lot. And again with Benavidez last time out. So yeah, I think Terence Crawford's the real deal. I really do. I'll probably still favour Errol Spence to beat Terence Crawford, but there again, Errol Spence. As much as I do like him, I do rate him, and I believe he could well be the best at 147. I do feel that he's nervous of Terence Crawford. So maybe Terence Crawford's got the edge on him. I don't know. Who wins, Wilder or Kaunaki? Um, difficult to say. Difficult to say. I think Wilder will probably win, but I think Kaunaki is an unknown commodity at the minute. He's done some good things at heavyweight as a very, very good fight with Charles Martin. Some could argue that he shouldn't have really been a fight of the year contender. He should have just walked through him, but yeah. Kanak is a very good fighter. With Frank Bruno, yeah, attached memories. That's exactly what it is. Yeah, yeah. I think it was a moment of relief. Not necessarily from my point of view, because as a small kid, see, Frank Bruno to me, I knew he was a boxer, but I'd never seen him box. I always seen him as a pantomime guy. But and he was in the adverts where with Freddie Starr and then on the Des O'Connor shows and that. But when I seen him fight and beat Oliver McCall, as much as I'd never really seen Frank Bruno fight so much. I mean, I've seen bits of him, but I think it was the emotion around the house with like my dad, my mum were just so happy with Frank Bruno. I think that's pretty much where it came from. So yeah, and then of course, obviously, I've seen Frank Bruno a whole lot since that moment. I'll get videos from the video shop and watch them. What do I think of Fa Ijagba? Good fighter, arrogant at the minute, which is disappointing me quite a bit lately. But I don't know. I suppose you kind of need it to become a top athlete. But yeah, so far he's doing the business. He's making opponents run out the ring on him and things like that. So yeah, I like a Jagba. He could do some real damage in this division. He really could. Really could. You're not a big fan of him, MBT, No. I mean, he does need a bit of proving to do. That's for sure. I mean, who's he fought? I mean, nobody of any kind of great no, is he? I mean, put in say, what about a Jagba against a Derek Chisora? That'd be an interesting one, wouldn't it? Frank Bruno did well considering he wasn't blessed. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I always liked Frank Bruno. I think it was because of his personality. He's a nice guy. Oh, oh, oh. I liked him. I don't know why. Super Brian Nielsen, the GOAT. Gorman versus Jagba. Yeah, good shout, that guy. Good shout. People are scared to fight him. Some are, yeah. A Jagba, he's just deadly, and he knows how to box as well. He knows how to cut that ring off real quick. Big Boys Boxing, formerly Kiwi Box. What is up, brother? Gorman will pick FA apart right now. Potentially, yeah. Potentially. I mean, I don't know why some of these promoters don't look at a Jagbar and think, you know what, let's snap him up, or let's put him in there with some of our guys. Let's see how he gets on. And I think Nathan Gorman would be a good shout, or Daniel Dubois. That'd be an interesting one. Wouldn't it? Everyone loves Bruno, yeah. Well, except the press, they didn't, did they? Parker beats Miller. Again, I'd love to see it. Love to see it. I mean, I'm still of the opinion I'd like to see Parker versus Lucas Brown. Just get it done. Just get it done. Because what happens if Lucas Brown comes over and loses to David Price? I mean, how does that look for Lucas Brown? Is Joseph Parker going to want to fight Lucas Brown after then? Probably not. H Money, what's that, bro? Ajagba versus Ortiz. One hell of a step up, isn't it? Ajagba will have 30 wins under it. Yeah, you're probably right there. Probably right there. Parker beats Miller. Yeah. Is Brown a gatekeeper? Phew, that's a tough one, isn't it? Tough one. Maybe, yeah. Maybe gatekeeper. There's a question mark on lots of Crawford's opponents. Yeah, exactly. See, that's kind of like my point with him. But yeah, I do think though that Crawford could be the real deal. Povetkin versus Ortiz is a stellar fight. Love that fight. And we know Povetkin's going to be fighting on the Joshua April 13th undercard. Against who? Don't know. Ortiz would be a good shout though. Huey Fury still under a rock. Mm. Brazil beat Deontay. Maybe. Maybe. Have you heard of James the Beast Wilson? I haven't, no. I haven't. I really haven't. My chicken says hi, Sporting Icons. Well, hello to your chicken. Hello. I hope you're not choking it as you're talking to me. What's going on? Joyce versus Jarrell Miller. See, Joe Joyce, he talks a lot in the sense of he calls fighters out, but when it comes down to it, would he actually step in with Luis Ortiz? Would he step in there with Big Baby Jarrell Miller? Would he have stepped in there with Derek Chisora? That's difficult, isn't it? Are the LDBC racist? No, no. I mean, I think some of them are, but no. I mean, there's a lot of good channels on there. You know, a lot of good channels. Just that, unfortunately, some of the real hater ones are the ones who become the famous ones. You know, just how it is. Ruins it for the rest of them, I suppose. Lomachenko versus who? Yeah, I heard he's meant to be doing undisputed fight next. Um, oh god, I can't think. Yeah, because there's a fight set up, isn't there? And then Lomachenko fights the winner for undisputed. Can't think of the names right now. I like to, Luis Ortiz should retire. Well, if he loses, I mean, if he does end up fighting Joe Joyce and loses, I think we could well see it. Joyce versus Whyte. I think it's too early for Joe Joyce. I think um, Dylan Whyte is the man at the moment. He's the wrong person for any heavyweight to get in the ring with right now. Do you think Mayweather will ever fight again, and with who? Not too sure. Not too sure. If he does, maybe he would do it against Broner or a Pacquiao rematch. But outside of that, not too much. If AJ fights Miller in New York, you're there, AH money. Awesome. Do you know the reason why Tyson Fury chose to leave Peter and Hennessy? I can understand leaving Hennessy, but well, yeah. I know some of it, but not really my place to say why. Just some personal issues with them. I mean, if you notice, they don't talk about each other. There's a real good reason for it. What happened to the 7 foot Taishan Dong? Well, he's still signed by Golden Boy. So, but outside of that, I don't know. I don't know. He reminded me of some. Oh, who's that big wrestler? That big Indian guy, just real dopey looking. He's got that gigantism of the head. Just slow, ponderous, gets bucked out. But when will this heavyweight division be unified? Once Wilder finds some balls? I don't know. I don't know. Loma will fight. Yeah, the Great Khali. There you go, Tom. Yeah, the Great Khali. That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, it reminds me of him. To be honest, he looks like him. To be fair, I think it's that gigantic head. To be fair, the Great Khali. Tanaka. Sorry, Tatanka. I met Tatanka once. I did. I met him once. Charles Martin versus Huey Fury in the UK. Who wins? I think Huey Fury beats him on points. Huey Fury needs to find and start lifting some weights to get a bit of power behind his punches. If he can do that, he'll be a real force. But unfortunately, when he gets hurt, he goes into retreat, which kind of makes me wonder. I don't know, and I hope I'm wrong. But it certainly makes me question: does Huey have quit in his heart? Hopefully not. But Deontay's a damn idiot, straight up. Yeah, he is that. Big up Ipswich Town. Big up to Ipswich Town. Is that the football club? Or Bobby Robson? What do you think's next for Derek Chisora? I could probably see the Kars Takam rematch, to be fair. Fury versus AJ. Who wins? Um, Fury on points or Joshua by knockout? That's the only thing I can possibly come out with, to be honest. Huey tried to copy Tyson, but yeah, I agree. I agree, and it didn't work. He was the wrong person to be doing that against. I think Michael Garcia hasn't he vacated his title? Hasn't he? I'm sure he has. No, the place. No, the place. Oh, okay. You're not a fan of Ipswich Football Club. I've been through Ipswich and Norwich and that kind of thing on the way to Yarmouth. I've been, well, I've been all around that kind of area before. Isn't that Horatio Lord Nelson County, isn't it? Wagwan. What's that? Mikey did vacate the WBC, oh, did he? Oh, well done, Sandy. AJ beats Tyson, yeah. Garcia loses to Spence on points, really. Any more prospect interviews? Yes, I've got a few. I've got a few. I'm waiting for the kids and that to go back to school and find a bit of time. Because when you kind of like interview with fighters, obviously you've got to try and catch them at a time when they're free and I'm free. And it's not always possible. So, yeah, I definitely have a few more. So what we've done so far, we're on the 6th of January, Dillian Whyte and Naylor Bull. So yeah, I'll probably get Tom Ansell on real soon again. Yeah, and a few others. Get Charlie Edwards on. Um, who else we got? Oh, Dave Allen. Got to bring him back on here, haven't we? So yeah, there'll be plenty and a whole lot of prospects that you may not have heard of. So actually, Nathan Gorman, I'll get him on. All about West Ham, the Irons. Yeah, I support Newcastle. I'm a Newcastle fan. For my sins, yes, they are garbage. But what can I do? I have no choice. Ginger guy, what's up? Um, yeah, right. So that Ring Magazine belt. A lot of people ask me about that in the comment section. So I'll explain to you what the Ring Magazine said. So they said this is when Joshua versus Wilder was being talked about originally, and the Ring Magazine, of course, they stripped it from Tyson Fury due to the fact he was about to fight Sefer Ferry and said, well, that's not really a good enough opponent to defend the Ring Magazine. So we're going to strip this from you and we're going to keep it vacant. And they didn't put it on the line for Joshua versus Parker, and they didn't put it on the line for Wilder versus Fury because it wasn't number one versus number two according to their rankings. So with everything being done, currently you've got Joshua number one and Tyson Fury number two ahead of Deontay Wilder. So going by their own words, it would have to be Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury for the Ring Magazine. That's the only way they're going to release the Ring Magazine for the heavyweight. So Tatanka would beat Wilder, no doubt. What with a tomahawk, maybe. Twice, mate. Wilder put Fury on his ass twice, and he can't box. Yep, cannot box. To this day. Definitely H money. Tommy Fury, he's looking pretty good, isn't he? Well, I say looking pretty good. It's hard to tell, isn't it, after one fight? But I mean, he's got the look. He's complete polar opposite to his brother Tyson, isn't he? You know, he's shorter and he's got muscle on him. He's defined. That's something that Tyson never really was, um, nor Huey, to be fair. But again, it looks like he's got that Fury curse, a lack of power. But it was his debut, so time will tell. Light heavyweight, so we'll have to wait and see what happens. But yeah, good luck to Tommy Fury. Any news on Miller fighting Whyte or AJ? Nah, nothing yet, Steve. Nothing yet, bro. Mad lad, Whyte or Wilder? I'll go with Whyte. Tommy Fury versus Teabag. Who's the biggest ducker, Wilder or Khan? Wilder, easy. I mean, we can say what we like about Amir Khan and his chin, he gets knocked out, but the man's got balls. He will step in the ring with anybody outside of Kilbrook. So, Huey Fury versus Adam Kalinacki, interesting fight, that's for sure. Them two were talking about fighting at one point. After the Huey Fury versus Andy Ruiz Jr. fight fell through. So, did Deontay Wilder ever find his pen? Nope, nope. He totally lost pen. He's banned all pens and pencils from his house. Instead, he's got maternity dresses instead. So, Huey Fury versus Kalinacki is a decent fight, that's for sure. Any news on Ritson? Yeah, Dino, he's going to be fighting on March the 23rd. And I don't know about an opponent, but I know the British Boxing Board of Control, of course, Lewis Ritson, he is still the British champion, has been ordered to fight Andy Townend. So that one could be it. If not, probably a rematch with Patera. So, but yeah, March 23rd. Or at least that's what the rumor is. So Khan and Brick will always be there. Yeah, hopefully. Wilder's bad for boxing. Well, yeah, brilliant for, is he? Johnson versus Whyte, very good fight. I love that fight. Actually, I think get Callum Johnson back on the channel for you guys. Find out what's happening. Although he's fighting in America soon, isn't he? Again, I forgot the name of his opponent. I'll have to have a look up, but yeah. Who are sporting, Whyte or Wilder? Frank Warren sold Deontay Wilder a pen. It had no ink in it. What rounders can't get KO'd by Crawford? Oof, brutal. My favourite style, to be honest, is patience. Patience is my favourite, I think. Right, so what Dillian Whyte did last time out against Derek Chisora was showing patience. He was using just boxing skill. I love boxing skill, but I like fighters with power. I don't like skill and zero power because I don't want to be sitting there thinking, oh, this is going to go 12 rounds. I don't like 12 rounders. I've got to be honest. I just don't like them. So, yeah, I think aggressive, but certainly patience. And I think that's kind of one of the reasons why I like Dillian Whyte so much is that he's learning all that. Anthony Joshua's doing all that as well. Tyson Fury has all that, but lacks the power. But Maidana, is he coming back? Is he? I don't know what's happening with bloody Maidana. Have I ever thought about covering MMA? I thought about it, but then realised I know bugger all about it, so not too much point. Yeah. Monaghan, there you go. Well done, Die Hard Casuals. Well done. That's him. Andre Ward come back? I don't think so. I don't think so. Because as a good fight, an interesting fight, it would be between Usyk and Andre Ward. The money just isn't there. I don't believe the money's there. Because where would they have it? Usyk isn't known in America. And would Usyk versus Andre Ward be big in the UK? Probably not. Would it be big in Ukraine? Maybe. But would Andre Ward want to go Ukraine? Andre Ward has always fought stateside. So, I don't know. Ward is done on his 32-0. I agree, Sandeep. Luke Lee Jones Fury. Oh, sorry, talking to someone else. My bad. Next fight for Povetkin. I'd love it to be Ortiz. Not too sure it will be, but don't be surprised. April 13th, which is when he is fighting next on the AJ undercard. Maybe Povetkin versus Joseph Parker. I'm probably have to go with that one. Was HBO contract done? Maybe DAZN. Yeah, with HBO being gone now, there's quite a few who are looking for permanent residence. Although Kovalev, so Kathy Duva, and all that, they've found a home on ESPN. So yeah, no, Khan's got one more fight with Matchroom left. One more. Yep, there's lots of fake media, that is for sure. Povetkin versus Usyk, interesting fight. Good shot, Povetkin versus Parker. Good fight, isn't it? It's an interesting one. The Tartan Tornado. Hmm. Do you think that Josh Taylor will win the World Boxer Super Series? I hope so. It'd be nice. Be nice if he did. My favourite fighter, well, currently, Dylan Whyte. Dylan Whyte. Then probably, oh, I don't know. There's so many that I like. So many that I like, really. All British fighters, I like them all really equally, to be honest with you. But Dylan Whyte was the one who kind of like helped me out with this channel in the very beginning. And he still checks in on me from time to time, how things going, how's everything going with the channel, that kind of thing. So, he still checks in, and he's kind of like one of the very few, and there are some other boxers, of course, but Dylan is kind of like, well, probably the most famous one that would just message me out of the blue, how are you? And so, he's a real good guy. He's a real good guy. So, yeah, Dylan Whyte. Um, yes, I do believe the pay-per-views are being rigged. Totally. You want to go on the podcast, dude, Sandeep? I do need to look into how people can come on here. I need to have a look at the whole Skype thing that's been suggested to me before. So, yeah. Aliyah, what is up? Welcome. How would you define a casual fan and a hardcore fan? Um, I think casual fans will only follow a couple of fighters, maybe half a dozen, but not follow them as in they're not going to follow the news, they're not going to follow their interviews or anything like that. They're just going to be keeping an eye out when's their next fight and maybe watch their next fight, and that's probably about as far as they go. Um, the hardcore fan is, although to be fair, I think the casual fan spends more money on boxing events than the hardcore. I think the hardcore fans, and can I put myself in that one? Maybe, but hardcore fans are the most critical. It's almost like the way a hardcore fan talks. They say they love boxing, but talk like they hate it. It's weird. But yeah, I think that a casual fan makes up the most money for boxing because a casual fan is more likely to take, their wife, their husband, their girlfriends, their boyfriends, their kids, and all these kind of things along. Go get the merchandise from the store. A hardcore fan is more likely to go on his own, sit in a cheap ticket stand, and just watch it on his own, drinking a beer. That's probably as far as a hardcore fan goes, and that's the truth of it. So yeah, I think casual fans are very, very important to boxing. Good question, Leah. Only hardcore fans know Wilder. Yep, yep. That is very true, H Money. Where is Conor Ben? He's currently gone quiet on that front. Well, he's back in the Matchroom gym with Ted Cheeseman and John Ryder, John Doherty, and Joe Cordina, all those kind of guys. So he's back in the gym with them now. I believe Conor Ben will be out on February the 2nd. That's what I believe on the Ted Cheeseman Sergio Garcia undercard. But I don't know that for a fact. I'm just speculating on that one. Ali beats all of them, maybe. Will this be the year Josh Kelly hits the big time, or is it too soon? I think this year, I believe his fight with David Avanesian, unless it's already been rescheduled, I wouldn't be surprised if Josh Kelly versus David Avanesian will be the March 23rd headliner here in Newcastle with Lewis Ritson as a co-main event, which is a decent scout. That puts him in the top 10 of the world rankings for 147. Then he could go on and potentially fight one of the big dogs. If he gets past the big dog, yeah, he could finish the year as a serious contender where world champions to look at him and say, potentially you could be my next opponent. So Cash Ali versus Dave Allen. I spoke with Cash Ali earlier on today, actually, just briefly, just saying hi as such. Yeah, good fighter. Interesting, isn't it? Very interesting. No, thank you, Al Heyman. What's with so many British boxers with Joshua and their name doing so well? Yeah, I know. It's weird, isn't it? Yeah, there is. You've got Joshua Boatsy, Anthony Joshua, Joshua Kelly. Actually, yeah, there's some more. I can't think, but yeah, there's loads. There's quite a few Joshuas. I guess in like the 90s, Joshua was a real good name, eh? It took over from the name Jordan. So, yeah. I'd love to see that Nigerian heavyweight versus Daniel Dubois. Oh, Jagba. FA Jagba. Be interesting. Josh Warrington. Good fighter. Very good fighter. Worst pro boxer of all time. Deontay Wilder. No, I don't know. I don't know about the worst one. I really don't know. Okay, Sarsi, thank you very much. Or Scarcy, sorry. Thank you very much. I'll catch you on the next one, bro. Take it easy. Lee White, AJ spoke highly of Lennox, and Lennox Lewis repaid and constantly backstabbing him. Yeah. Told you, Lennox Lewis just a hater. Ajak Babas Dubois, yeah. There's too much going in for boxing to watch sport. I was thinking about that the other day because like somebody asked me about my opinion on football, and I didn't pay it too much attention. And then when was it that Newcastle played Manchester United? Anyway, I caught it on Sky Sports. I caught about the last 20 minutes of it, and I suddenly realised that I moved to Newcastle 3 years ago now or thereabouts. So I moved back here, moved back home, and one of the main reasons was to not only to come back home, but was to go watch Newcastle United. And I've realised I've only been 3 times. And I was looking at the team against Man United a couple of days ago. And I was thinking, I don't recognise you guys. But I was always up on it. I knew every single football player. I knew where they come from. I pretty much knew their record. I'm looking at the guys now going, who are you? So yeah, you're right. Boxing just takes over. Too much going on. Well said, but bad guy. Lennox ruined his rep. I agree. Most overrated UK boxer. Most overrated. So you mean one that was hyped up, but didn't fulfill? I don't know. It's quite a few, to be real. I suppose you've got to put in Audley Harrison in there, I suppose. But is he the worst? No, probably not. I can't think of anybody worse, but there will be worse. But can we henceforth refer to Lennox as Lennox Salty Lewis? I agree. Man United fan here. Adam, go away. Yeah, it's strange, right? Because when I turned it on, as I said, usually I know when Newcastle's playing, or I used to, but as I put on Sky Sports, I've seen that Newcastle were losing 1-0. And I kid you not, within 10 seconds of me putting it on, Man United scored their second goal. I was like, oh, my life. So, yeah. I mean, I like the heavyweights there, Stephen. I think that the heavyweights it's interesting if you're fully up to date with everything, I think. And, but for me, my passion, as a lot of you guys know, my passion, Adam, how dare you support them? You see, my passion for boxing is prospects. I love to watch the prospects coming through. That's why I'm high up on the likes of Tom Ansell and Naylor Ball. And do you know what I mean? It's like these kind of guys. I like to see these guys do well, but the World Cup has traumatized me too much to watch football. Yeah, Leah. Yeah, I know. It still haunts me the fact that they didn't beat Croatia. Gutted. But there again, I suppose it did well. But it was a weak World Cup, I think. Can you do a featherweight current rankings? Featherweight. Yeah, I'll tell you what, I'm going to do that right now for you. And then I'm going to knock on the head because I've got to be up to take little man to school. I was saying, where the hell's the rankings? Okay. So right, bear with me, lads and girls, of course. All right, let's go to the fight news one. So what do you want? It was featherweight. Featherweight, yeah. Okay. So obviously Josh Warrington, the IBF champion, of course. Oscar Valdez, WBO, who looked real good. Yeah, he's an absolute beast. He loved to fight, didn't he? When he fought Scott Quigg, that was an excellent fight. Leo Santa Cruz, of course, WBA champion, and Gary Russell Jr., WBC champion. Now, out of all those there, Oscar Valdez, Josh Warrington, Leo Santa Cruz, Gary Russell Jr., they're all good champions, right? But I think the weak link is probably Gary Russell Jr., to be fair. And that's not being mean on him, it's just that the other ones are real good. Abner Mares, number 2 in the WBC. That's a good one. Kid Galahad, number 6. But Kid Galahad is also number 1 in the IBF. So he is now the mandatory for Josh Warrington. That fight has to happen. There will be no exceptions now, exemptions even. So that will happen. Shakur Stevenson is climbing the rankings now at long last, and he's pretty well off at the IBF. Actually, is he in the WBO as he's a top ranked fighter? Bob Arum. Bob Arum loves the WBO. So is he in there? No, he's not. Who would have thought that? Okay. So Shakur Stevenson's ranked by the IBF, but not the WBO. Odd. Very, very odd. Tyler McCreary. There you go. Good one. Sean Kubo. Okay. Miguel Flores. Scott Quigg is still ranked quite highly in the WBC, number 8. Number 8. Frampton seems to have been dropped from all rankings. He's not even ranked by any sanctioning body at all, Carl Frampton. Let me quickly scan down. Yeah, not one. So that's what would probably make me suggest that Carl Frampton could well end up giving it up. But I mean, Abner Mares, obviously number 2 in WBC, very good fight. Kid Galahad, very good. Scott Quigg, of course, Scott Quigg's one of my favourite fighters, so I do like him. Miguel Mariaga, okay. I'm trying to think if anybody's kind of like really stands out. I mean, Shakur Stevenson, of course, he was a silver medalist at the Olympics, but I think that Shakur Stevenson is one of these guys where he looks to business, but I can see a knockout loss coming his way. But anyway, Ryan Walsh looked real good against Bellotti last time out. So Ryan Walsh needs a world title shot or European title shot, in my opinion. So yeah. Either way, Josh Warrington, Kid Galahad, that'll be coming up soon enough. I like them. Lance Lewis is PBC now, I agree. Who does Dillian Whyte fight if AJ and Wilder are out the picture? Depends on Wilder fighting Tyson Fury or not. Because if not, then Wilder's going to be fighting Dominic Brazil. So that would suggest, because for me, I think Dillian Whyte versus Dominic Brazil is more likely. But I think if not, wouldn't surprise me if we see Dillian Whyte versus Povetkin. Maybe, or Big Baby Jaron Miller, maybe, or Luis Ortiz if the demand is high enough. So Devin Haney, like him a lot. Good shout out there. Yeah, I do like him a lot. He could be a pound for pound fighter one day. Could be. Anyway, everybody, it's now. I've been on here an hour and a half. I thought I'd do this for half hour, but got to be up early. Take the little into school and that, all that kind of good stuff. And hopefully the car's gonna be okay. I've been given a bit of a. My car started to make like a bit of a kind of like noise, and I took it to the garage on Saturday, and they couldn't find what was wrong with it. So now I'm a bit nervous of it, and it all happened after a very very long drive. I drove all the way down south from Newcastle. Took me 4 hours to get there, 4.5 hours. Stayed there for about 4 or 5 hours, then drove all the way back again. The engine management light came on for about 30 seconds, then disappeared when I got to Durham. And since then I've been hearing it. But then I took it to the mechanic, which is right on my street, luckily enough. I took him there, the car to him there. Couldn't find anything wrong with it, and the car was on this best behaviour. It's weird, very weird. But anyway, everybody, thank you very much for tuning in. I want to close down this screen here. Do you want to save it? No, of course I don't. Okay, and there we go. Let's take that bit off. Right, so Again, thank you, everybody. Hope you all have a great evening. Same to you all. I appreciate you all spending a bit of time with me. So give the video a quick thumbs up if you do not mind. And of course, if you're late in here, obviously go back, watch the replay of it all. Go watch the previous video earlier on, which is doing pretty well. That seems to have created a bit of a talking point with a lot of people. So Frank Warren says Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury should be 50-50 and shown on Sky and BT Sport. Go give that video a quick watch, and I will catch you all tomorrow. And I'll try and be a bit more regular with the uploads, like we was just before Christmas, right? So anyway, thank you very much, everyone. Good night. Appreciate it all. Catch you all on the next video.